You're listening to Board Games Before Bed. Think of this as a gentle rulebook read-through. Slow, steady, and just detailed enough to follow. Calm enough to fall asleep to. Clear enough to play tomorrow. Settle in, close your eyes if you'd like, and we'll walk through tonight's game together. Tonight's game is Ticket to Ride. In this cozy train adventure, we'll be gliding across the map of North America, collecting colorful train cards and placing little trains to connect distant cities. You don't need the board in front of you. You can just listen, relax, and let the map exist in your imagination. If you drift off while I'm talking, that's perfectly fine. Your trains will still be here when you wake up. Take a slow breath in and out, and let's begin our journey. In Ticket to Ride, each player is a railway company trying to build train routes across North America. On the board, there's a big map, covered in cities connected by little paths of colored spaces. Each path between two cities is a route. To claim a route, you'll play matching colored cards from your hand, and then place your plastic train pieces along that path. You'll also have destination tickets. Each ticket shows two cities, like Los Angeles to New York, or Calgary to Phoenix. Your secret goal is to connect those two cities with one continuous chain of your own trains. If you succeed, you'll score the points printed on that ticket at the end of the game. If you don't connect the cities, you'll lose those points instead. During the game, you score points every time you place trains on the board. Short routes are worth a few points. Long routes are worth a lot more. At the end, there's also a bonus for the player with the longest continuous route of trains. So, overall, the heart of the game is very simple. Draw cards, play cards to build routes, and quietly work on connecting your hidden destinations. In the box, you'll find a large map board of North America with cities and colored routes between them. Plastic train pieces in 5 different colors, one for each player. Matching wooden scoring markers for each player. A big deck of train cards showing different colored train cars: blue, red, green, yellow, black, white, orange, and purple. Plus a wild locomotive card that can stand in for any color. A smaller deck of destination tickets, each showing 2 cities and a point value. A handy scoring track running around the edge of the board. Let's walk through setup slowly, just enough to imagine the table. Place the board in the center of the table. Each player chooses a color and takes a set of plastic trains in the same color and the matching scoring marker. Everyone puts their scoring marker on the 0 space of the scoring track. Now shuffle the train cards. Deal 4 train cards to each player as their starting hand. Place the rest of the deck face down to form a draw pile. Then flip the top 5 cards face up in a row next to the deck. These are the face-up options players can choose from on their turn. Next, shuffle the destination tickets. Deal 3 tickets to each player. Each player must keep at least 2 of them, and they may keep all 3 if they'd like. Any tickets a player doesn't keep are placed on the bottom of the ticket deck. Quietly look at your chosen destination tickets and imagine the cities you're planning to connect. These are your secret goals. Finally, give each player their full supply of plastic trains. In the base game, each player starts with 45 trains. When everyone has their trains, cards, and tickets, you're ready to begin. On your turn and ticket to ride, you may do one main thing. You can choose from 3 options. Draw train cards, claim a route, draw destination tickets. We'll go through each of these calmly. Draw train cards. Most turns, you'll simply draw more cards. Cards are the fuel for building routes. When you choose this option, you can take 2 train cards in total. Each card can come from either the 5 face-up cards next to the deck or the top card of the face-down deck. Every time you take a face-up card, you immediately flip a new card from the deck to replace it, so there are always 5 showing, unless the deck happens to be empty. There's one extra rule: locomotive wild cards. If you take a face-up locomotive, you only get that 1 card for your whole turn, not 2. However, if you draw from the face-down deck and you happen to get a wild locomotive, that still counts as just 1 of your 2 cards. So, face-up normal color counts as 1 of your 2 picks. Face-up wild locomotive is your entire turn, just that card. Face-down card, any type, is 1 of your 2 picks. You'll spend a lot of the early game quietly drawing cards, building up the right colors for the routes that you want. Claim a route. Instead of drawing cards, you can use the cards in your hand to claim a route on the board. To claim a route, you choose a route between 2 cities on the map. Place a set of matching colored cards from your hand equal to the number of spaces in that route. Place 1 of your plastic trains on each space of that route. Immediately advance your scoring marker by the number of points that route is worth. For example, if there's a blue route that is 3 spaces long, you must play 3 blue train cards from your hand, or a mix of blue cards and wild locomotive that total 3. Then you place all 3 of your trains on those spaces. Gray routes are special. They don't have a set color, so you can choose any 1 color you want to use, but all the cards you play for that route must match each other. You can't mix red and green together on the same gray route. Routes of different lengths give different points. Short routes give just a little. Long routes give a big jump. You don't need to memorize exact numbers while you're falling asleep. The score table in the rulebook and the summary on the cards will tell you. The important part is, longer routes cost more cards but reward more points. Double routes. Some cities are connected by 2 parallel routes side by side. They are called double routes. In a game with 4 or 5 players, 2 different players can claim one of those parallel routes. But in a game with 2 or 3 players, only one of the 2 routes can be used. Once one of the double routes is claimed, the other becomes unavailable for the entire game. That keeps the board a bit tighter in smaller games. Draw destination tickets. If you're feeling confident, you can take on more secret goals. On your turn, instead of drawing train cards or claiming a route, you may draw 3 new destination tickets from the deck. You must keep at least one of them, and you may keep 2 or all 3 if you're feeling ambitious. Any tickets you don't keep will go to the bottom of the deck. Remember that completed tickets score positive points, but incomplete ones subtract points. So taking too many can be a little risky. Over time, as you claim routes, you'll create your own growing network of trains across the map. To complete a destination ticket, you don't need one single long route between 2 cities. You simply need a continuous chain of your trains linking them together. For example, if your ticket says Seattle to New York, you might connect Seattle to Helena, Helena to Omaha, Omaha to Chicago, and Chicago to New York. As long as all those segments are your color, the ticket is considered complete. Your opponents are quietly doing the same thing, sometimes racing you for certain key connections, sometimes accidentally blocking paths you hope to take. The endgame is triggered when one player has 2 or fewer trains. When that happens, each player gets one final turn, including the player who just triggered the end. After the last round, you move to final scoring. At the end of the game, you'll total your points. You already have some points from the route you've claimed during the game. Now, adjust your score with the tickets and bonuses. Reveal destination tickets. Each player reveals all their tickets. For each ticket where the 2 cities are connected by your trains, add the ticket's point value to your score. For each ticket you failed to complete, subtract that many points. Next, find the player who has the longest continuous chain of trains. That player receives the longest route bonus card, worth 10 extra points. If there's a tie for the longest route, all tied players get the 10-point bonus. After all that, the player with the highest total score wins the game. But for tonight, you don't have to worry about winning or losing. You can just imagine your train stretching across the country from coast to coast in quiet little lines of color. So that's Ticket to Ride, a calm, card drawing, route building journey across North America. On your turn, you'll usually draw train cards or spend them to claim routes, or pick up new destination cards if you're feeling brave. You score as you build. You reveal your tickets at the end, and someone with a long, winding route earns a little bonus. If you're still awake, You might be picturing the board, thinking about which routes you'd race for first. Maybe you'd start on the west coast, or quietly secure a few short routes near the center of the map. And if you're getting sleepy, you can let those thoughts drift away like trains disappearing into the distance. Thank you for listening to Board Games Before Bed. Rest well, and may all your routes connect, whether you remember them in the morning or not.